do something. But as culture goes, there is nothing beautiful that they still do. All right, and some of them, of course, have eroded with time, but that is the conversation that we are going to be having. But even as I take you through, I'm going to be taking you through the Maasai community in Kenya and Tanzania and their beauty ornaments, and the Suma community in Ethiopia. But even as we do that, I want to know from you right here, because these things are not new, and our question of the day is covering what beauty ornaments and trends do you know from your cultural background, from tribes, from people. What beauty ornaments do you know from your, cultural background, from your roots, from the people, from tribes? What cultural ornaments do you actually know? I know you people know a lot of stuff, so I want to hear from you. That is simply put, I am going to be taking you through, of course, through those two communities, but I'd like to know. And which ones actually have you adapted, or you saw and you are like, this one, how was this considered beauty? And also others that you watch and you are like, okay, that I might do, from your shosho, from your shags, from stories that you hear, from stories that you read about, from cultural stories that you read about. I like to hear from all of that what beauty ornaments and trends, because it's not just ornaments. There are trends that were happening in the old times that you are looking at and you are like, okay, that maybe I can do that for beauty. And others you look at and you are like, how was that exactly considered beauty? So I want to hear from you both on the beauty ornaments and beauty trends that you have heard from our cultural backgrounds, from different communities and different tribes. That is our conversation of the day. And like I have said, I'm going to be taking you through some communities because, of course, lazima tuketi chini to learn these things, because we are Art and Culture Monday. So we are here to keep you up to date and informed. All right? So talk to me on 0739-110544 and also on our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya and at Karen Blessing. And I'm seeing Monday Gang is already up. So kimbia pale Facebook. Look for KUTV Kenya. The show that is streaming right there is this one. So leave your comments there, and I'm going to be getting to it. I'm seeing watu wameamka. Hopes D anasema locked in from Ruiru, loving the show. Thank you very much, Hopes. You are doing amazing. Karibu sana to the show, and hope that you're going to enjoy it to the end. All right. So karibuni sana. I am waiting for your comments. Keep watching, keep participating, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing Monday morning. At 44 minutes past 7 a.m., which tells you that we have gotten knees deep into the show, and we want to know what is happening in the country, of course, through our news updates. Just let you know what is happening, what do you ought to know is happening, what is your opinion on what is happening. So right about now, we want to get to our news updates, and of course, I want to hear from you. I want to know ni story gani na kubamba as a Kenyan. What is happening? What opinion do you have on the stories and updates that we are bringing to you this morning? All right. So we are moving on to our news updates right about now. Starting us off with the London Marathon, where Kenya's Kelvin Kiptum smashed compatriot Eliud Kipchoge's course record to win the men's London Marathon in second fastest time ever, clocking 2 hours, 1 minute and 26 seconds. The 23-year-old was just 16 seconds outside Kipchoge's world record. Sifan Hassan also produced a remarkable run to win the women's race, clocking 2 hours, 18 minutes and 33 seconds. Kenya's Perez Jepchirchir finished second in 2 hours, 18 minutes and 38 seconds, and Geoffrey Kamworor placed third in the London Marathon. Take a look.
El campeón del año pasado
2022 Valencia Marathon champion Kevin Kiptum has won this year's London Marathon Championship.
Había ganado por primera vez su primer mayor y aquí está.
The 23-year-old was about to break the record set by Eliud Kipchoge in 2019 after clocking 2 hours, 1 minute and 26 seconds to become the second fastest long-distance runner in the world.
Acaba de batir el récord de este maratón de Londres en manos de Eliud Kipchoge.
Kipchoge had finished ahead of his compatriot Geoffrey Kamworor, who has won the New York Marathon twice and crossed the line in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Ethiopia's reigning world champion Samira Tola was third, while Britain's Mo Farah finished 9th in what he said will be his last marathon. Kipchoge produced the fastest marathon debut in Valencia December last year, where he finished in 2 hours, 1 minute and 53 seconds. In the women's races, Seifan Hassan, who won the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters races at the Tokyo Olympic last year, produced a sprint finish to win in 2 hours, 18 minutes and 33 seconds.
Su primer maratón, debutante en una maratón, campeona del maratón de Londres, Seifan Hassan.
Ethiopia's Alemu Migatu was the second and Kenya's Peris Jepchirchir came third. Kenyan world record holder Bridget Kosgei looked to be limping from the start and dropped out just after 3 minutes, while Ethiopia's defending champion Jalem Zaya was fifth. The event has returned to its normal date in the calendar for the first time since 2019 after the COVID-19 pandemic. Wilson Tobiko, KUTV.
Well, moving on to some disturbing news, Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has deployed police to Shakahola village in Malindi to seal off a forest where mass graves have been unearthed. Yesterday, 18 more bodies have been retrieved, doubling the death toll to 39. Kindiki has warned the culprits found guilty of leading a cult movement in Shakahola village in Kilifi County will be subjected to tough punishment as subjected by the law. Here is that report as produced by Celestine Wandia.
Questions unfold as more graves continue to be discovered in what is said to be a fasting activity led by Pastor Paul Mackenzie of the Good News International Church. The discovery of the new graves raised the total number discovered so far to over 39 as the detectives plan to begin the exhumation exercise. Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi has blamed the national government for taking too long to unmask the Malindi Church saga. The Deputy Governor says there is a lot of unanswered questions on how Pastor Mackenzie raised such a cult without being noticed by the security agencies in the country for years.
As a country, we also have a budget for intelligence gathering. Now, wengi wameenda. After, even as I stand here, vile wanaendelea kufukuliwa kule waliako polisi haijamaliza haya mambo. Swali ni hili jambo lilipoanza, hili kanisa likaanza.
The Deputy Governor has urged the government security agencies to be alert across the country as there might be so many unmasked cults in the name of church.
The point is, we have a government in place. Tafadhali haya mashirika yote, kanisa ilisema inataka kuregulate themselves. It is high time. Kuregulate si kupoteza watu vile tunapoteza. Tuangalia ya mambo. Saa hii kwa Malindi, hatujui hapa inaweza tokea lini ama mahali pengine katika taifa letu. So mambo kama hayo jameni, tuangalie tunaenda, zile kanisa tunaenda.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has condemned the act and called for strict regulations on religious centers as detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations unearth more details about the Good News International Church cult in Malindi, Kilifi County. Motweri Eliud, KUTV.
Moving on, President William Ruto yesterday presided over a launch of the newly built Friends Church Quakers Sanctuary in Donholm, Nairobi. The president has urged salaried Kenyans to contribute 3% of their salaries to Housing Fund, a project initiated by the government under the Affordable Housing Project. Take a look.
President William Ruto has today presided over the opening of a sanctuary built by the Friends Church, otherwise known as Quakers, in Donholm, Nairobi, where he called upon Kenyans to contribute 3% of their salaries to the Housing Fund, a project initiated by the government in its bid to actualize its affordable housing goal.
Kila mfanyikazi ambaye anaweka 3%, sheria itamlazimisha yule muajiri wake pia na yeye aweke 3%.
The president says that all government employees who contribute their percentage will have an addition of 3% to their salaries.
Kila mfanyikazi wa serikali ambaye atatoa sehemu ya mshahara yake 3% kwa mambo ya housing, na sisi kama serikali tutampatia 3% every month ya salary yake, so that we can create a fund that will assist the people of Kenya to acquire homes.
Ruto says that the national savings have doubled in just 2 months after the government increased the amount to be contributed to the National Security Fund NSSF to 6%. He is optimistic that the GDP in terms of saving is on an upward trajectory from the current 8%.
In just 2 months, we have doubled the amount of money that we are saving as a country. In just 2 months. And I want to promise you ya kwamba tutajenga hazina kubwa, ili badala ya sisi kukopa pesa ya kutoka marafiki wengine, kutoka nchi zingine, tutakuwa tunafanya vile wao wanafanya.
President Ruto has added that 30,000 houses have already been constructed under the Affordable Housing Project in Nairobi, and that the government is targeting to construct 100,000 housing units per year. The president now says that the unga prices have dropped tremendously and are yet to drop further in the coming weeks.
I want to promise you, tutabadilisha hii taifa letu la Kenya. Na hii changamoto tulio nayo, hii bei ya unga tutateremusha. And this problem we will get rid of it because we have the plan to make sure we have a stable country, we have enough food, and we have what it takes to change our country.
President William Ruto now appears optimistic that Kenya is heading towards self-sufficiency. He, however, claims that the government cannot actualize this without the support of citizens. Joseph Kiss, KUTV.
Moving on, President William Ruto has said that the government is planning to generate electricity out of the refuse from Nairobi City. The president, who was addressing a gathering at Friends Church in Donholm, said that the government has committed to offer 1 billion Kenya shillings meant for cleaning Nairobi. He has announced that in cooperation with the Nairobi Rivers Commission, the government has identified all effluent emitters in a bid to kickstart the cleaning of the city and return its past glory.
Dealing with refuse, tayari niliweka kamati ya Nairobi Rivers Commission. We have now committed 1 billion shillings. We are identifying all the effluent emitters. We've completed that exercise, and we are going to clean the city of Nairobi. And not just clean the city of Nairobi, we are also going to generate electricity out of the refuse of Nairobi City. We have the plan for it.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has assured Kenyans living in Botswana that the Kenyan government will solve various challenges they are facing, including getting work permits with ease. The DP is in a 5-day visit to Botswana to represent President William Ruto in the Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit Africa, which is set to start today on Monday.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, accompanied by his wife Dorcas Rigathi and Diaspora Affairs Principal Secretary Roslyn Jogu, addressed diaspora Kenyans in Botswana on Saturday evening, assuring all Kenyans in diaspora that the government will make it easier for them to vote from their respective countries. Gachagua said that the government is in the process of creating a diaspora bond that will help Kenyans living in other countries invest in a safe manner.
The government wants to create an investment forum guaranteed by government for the people in diaspora. How you can invest back home in a safe manner and your savings are safe.
He also mentioned that the Kenya Airways are facing serious financial challenges which have negatively impacted their operations in Botswana. He further promised that the government is working to overhaul the situation and bring it back on track.
To be honest with you, to tell you that we have challenges with KQ, very serious challenges, financial. KQ is hardly able to meet its operating expenses, and there are serious discussions on possible reforms to get KQ back on track.
The Deputy President informed Kenyans that the government has posted an immigration officer to Botswana to help them solve issues to do with passports.
We have already taken some action. As we speak, an immigration officer has been identified and posted here. And shortly after the processing is done, his papers are done, his accreditation is done, shortly in another 2 to 3 weeks, you will have a permanent immigration officer here in the High Commission.
Gachagua also says that he has an appointment with the President of Botswana, a platform he will use to address issues related to work permits.
So luckily, I have an appointment with the President of this great republic on Monday morning, and I'll be able to put up a very strong case to remind him to remember the journey, that capacity they have developed was as a result of Kenyans, and therefore they cannot just abandon us.
He also took the opportunities to appraise them on representing Kenya well in maintaining the county's economic and political situation. The meeting was held to address challenges facing Kenyans living in Botswana and possible ways of solving them.
Moving on to a bit of politics, a section of Mombasa County leaders have held their ground that the Azimio protest will go on if their demands are not heeded to by the government. While addressing Mombasa residents in an Eid Baraza, the leaders led by Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir also called on other leaders to be respectful with their words to avoid chaos.
In an Eid Baraza led by Mombasa Governor Sharif Nasir, a section of Mombasa leaders clarified their stance on the Azimio protest, citing they'll go back to the streets should their demands be ignored. Mombasa Governor Sharif Nasir warned leaders to be respectful in their political rallies, adding that no one will be disrespected under his watch. He further called on the government to provide employment for the youths in Mombasa.
Hii county itakuwa ni nyuso za kila mmoja anayekuwa yuko pamoja na sisi na yule ambaye hayuko pamoja na sisi. Kila mmoja atastahiki na kupatiwa heshima sawa sawa mbele ya macho ya Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir.
Former Governor Ali Hassan Joho claimed that he is ready to work with the current governor for the development of the county. Joho further added that he has no business in creating chaos, citing that his time is yet to come.
Mimi kama gavana mstaafu nimekuja kuambia na waunga mkono kuanzia ndugu yangu Bezimba Kisauni paka Jomvu na Changamwe na kwengineo. Sina haja ya kuendelea na of course vita ni kijana yangu Machele. Sina haja ya kusema mingi leo. Wakati wangu utafika, nitasema na kitaeleweka.
In support, Mombasa County Assembly Speaker Hatri Ibrahim stated that they are ready to continue with the protest until the government fulfills all demands dictated by Azimio.
Hapo ukisikizana na mkae chini na Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir, mtuambie saa 1 asubuhi kutoka Monday mpaka Friday, si tutakuwa hapo Monday mpaka Friday. Maana hizi shida zote tumeweza kuzieleza hapa leo. Tuko na viongozi kutoka UDA, lakini tayari tumeona dalili, tuamweleza mtu anakuambia mengine.
Other leaders also joined in calling for what they termed as respect for Azimio leader Raila Odinga, citing they will not allow any form of disrespect.
Na sisi kama Wakenya lazima tuseme, lazima tu protest, lazima tu demonstrate, lazima tupeleke voice ijulikane ya kwamba Wakenya hawana raha. Ninasema hivi, mtamtukana baba kwenye majukwaa yenu, lakini hamtamtukana baba kwenye majukwaa yetu sisi.
With the Azimio coalition threatening to go back to the streets, it remains unclear whether the bipartisan talks between the coalition and the government will be effective in resolving conflicts between the government and the opposition. Ruth Wanjiru, for KUTV.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are exactly at 8 a.m. and we are having a great time. We are going to put a comma on our news updates right there, but not to worry, because more updated pieces are going to be coming your way in the course of the day. And of course, at 6:30 p.m. we have our Kiswahili news, and our 9 p.m. at our English news updates. So keep it KUTV, and you're going to be receiving, much more updated pieces. But for now, we want to take a break. But when we come back, we are going to be talking all matters fashion and design, and we have an amazing piece prepared for you. So sit back, relax. You can run out to get your mug of coffee, but then come back. I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Kurunzi ya kilimo kuimarisha afya na uchumi endelevu katika jamii ni msingi mkubwa wa kipindi Boresha Kilimo. Kipindi hiki kinajikita katika teknolojia ya kisasa, utafiti na ushirikishaji wa wadau wa kilimo kuonyesha shughuli mbalimbali shambani. Kwa suluhu ya utoshelevu wa chakula, tazama Boresha Kilimo.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
Hapo kamatia. Nyama kwani nipe bia.
Na maisha ni haya mwanaume ali. Da, sielewi yani hata neno moja. Yani tunasikia tu maboko likolo. Yani ukiniangalia tu huyu mwamba huyu anafiti sehemu fulani. Wewe ni wewe inakaa. Without your love, I can't move on. Yo, that's your boy Rhino the Don. Keep watching and listening to KUTV.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pipopa si vuguvugu. Pipopa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Kwanza tuende lunch. Chapo.
Rasha piga shada kuna giza. Sikinae
twende kisha basi nipe.
You are my mom, big up. Brother, ukiwa Adriva, big up. Sis, big up. Shows, mama, big up. Oya, wase wote. Okay, my principal, big up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are at 6 minutes past 8 a.m. and we are doing amazing. 1 hour down, 2 to go. And these 2 are filled with much more entertainment. So keep it KUTV Kenya, keep it Art and Culture Monday. You know, we're prepared for some good entertainment, good energy this Monday morning. And I'm loving it because you guys are already here. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook. Kimbia tu pale online, you look for KUTV Kenya. The live link that is there is the link to this show. So leave your comments there. I'm going to be getting to them. And actually, there is already a number of them that I want to get to before we get to our next segment. And I want to get to YouTube guys. Watu wako pale YouTube that are having a great, amazing time. Winston Odhiambo anasema amazing show, loving it. Tuned in from KM. Thank you very much, Winston. Wanjiru is saying loving the show from Thika. Cannot wait for the fashion design segment. Well, you're in luck because we are headed to that. Wahoo Tracy anasema loving the show. Those are my guys on YouTube and I am loving it. So you can either kimbia pale YouTube or pale Facebook and I'm going to be getting to your comment in just a bit. Remember, we are having a conversation on beauty ornaments and trends from the past. Cultural beauty ornaments and trends that you know from Kitambo. All right, so I want you to share that with me as we bring this conversation home. Of course, in the next link, we are going to be talking about the communities that brought about this conversation. But before we do that, I'd like to hear from you on what ornaments and trends, what beauty ornaments and trends do you know from your cultural communities, from of course, your tribe, from your roots. From Kitambo, what beauty ornaments and trends do you know from there, all right? But right about now, we want to jump on to our fashion and design segment because we are going to be having, we're going to be showcasing to you a fashion and design segment from the marketing department semester showcase. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of fashion, a little bit of design here. And I know you can pick a thing or two, so I hope that you are ready. And also, I would like your opinion on this specific segment. So we are going to show you that, and I'm going to wait to see what have you liked about it, what have you not liked about it, what have you learned, because I know you can pick 2 through 3 things from there, all right? So right about now, we are moving on to the fashion and design a segment from the marketing department semester showcase. Take a look.
What we are going to present is our final year show for the 4th years, the fashion department.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a fantastic time right here at Art and Culture Monday with me, Karen Blessing. And I am joined by, as promised, I'm joined by a dance group that is going to blow your mind. They are doing amazing work. They are spreading a really positive message, and we are here to hear from them, you know, and we are many in studio. The studio has never been this warm, you know, in a while. So we are here, we want to know them, want to know what they are, who they are, what they do, and we are going to be getting to that in just a bit. So we will start with the director right here, and I kindly want to know, just introduce yourself, your name, what you do, and introduce the dance group.
Preséntate, tu nombre, presenta el grupo también de lo que
Soy
hace.
Rafael Palacios, director y fundador de Sankofa Dance Afro.
So I'm Rafael Palacios, I'm founder and director of Sankofa Dance Afro.
Somos un grupo colombiano de danza.
We're a dance group from Colombia.
Y estamos constituidos por diferentes regiones de Colombia en donde viven las comunidades negras.
So we actually come from different communities in Colombia, where we actually are in black communities in Colombia.
Nosotros decimos que bailamos más que para ser vistos, para ser escuchados.
We normally say, or our tagline is, that we dance mainly not to be seen, but rather to be heard.
Porque nuestra danza es un discurso político.
Because this is a political discourse, a political speech of sorts.
No bailamos para entretener.
We don't dance to entertain.
Bailamos para contar la historia que nos acontece.
So we actually dance so that we can talk about the story that happens to us.
Y las luchas de existencia y de resistencia que hemos librado.
And also the battles or the struggles that existence struggles that we have actually lived through.
Para reclamar los derechos humanos que se nos han negado.
So as we can reclaim the human rights that we have lost sometimes.
Y aquí estoy con bailarines de la compañía que están felices de estar en África, en nuestro hogar.
So I'm here together with my group of dancers that are also very happy to be here in Africa.
Yes, wow, amazing. Thank you so much. As they have said, ladies and gentlemen, they're a dance crew from Colombia. And I like, because this is Art and Culture Monday, this is all matters culture. This is trying to move us from those times to these times and human rights in this regard. I would like the team to introduce themselves. Kindly say your name and you know something about the dance group.
Sí. Entonces, quiero introducir ahora el grupo. Acaba de dar un poco a hablar al público, pero ahora quiere que cada uno del grupo se presente.
Hola, mi nombre es José Luna.
My name is José Lula.
Soy músico.
I am a musician.
Y estoy muy feliz de estar acá en África, entablando diálogos culturales entre Colombia y África.
And I'm very happy to be here to actually exchange my experiences between Africa and Colombia.
Hola, mi nombre es Vanessa.
Hi, my name is Vanessa.
Estoy súper feliz y contenta de estar aquí
adquiriendo
estos conocimientos tan significativos que son para nosotros.
I'm very happy to be here and also trying to learn very important and significant messages that I'm going to be here in Kenya.
Hola, soy Indira Perea, soy cofundadora de la corporación Sankofa y estoy muy feliz de estar aquí en África de nuevo.
I'm Indira and I'm a co-founder of this particular group and I'm very happy to be here once again in Africa.
Es muy importante para mí como mujer afrodescendiente poder llegar al continente para reconocer, conocer nuestra historia y crear un discurso que apela también al regreso de nuestras raíces.
I'm very happy to be here to actually reconnect back with Africa so that we can actually go back to the roots of our African culture.
Que nos fortalece.
That strengthens us.
Y que crea un discurso mucho más potente.
That also creates a more strong discourse, a powerful discourse.
Hola, mi nombre es Camilo Perlaza.
I'm Camilo Perlaza.
Soy bailarín.
I'm a dancer.
Y obviamente estoy muy feliz de estar en África.
Of course, I'm very happy to be here in Africa.
Y creo que estos compartir nos nutren nuestros procesos que venimos realizando en Colombia.
And I'm very sure that this sharing also gives us nutrients for us to have connect with Colombia.
Al poder llegar a este continente que creo que para nosotros es muy importante.
To be able to get here in this continent that I think for us is very important.
Hola, mi nombre es Peter Angulo. Estoy muy contento, muy feliz de poder estar en África por primera vez.
I am Peter Angulo, and I'm very happy to be here in Africa for the first time.
Y poder vivir esa experiencia del diálogo cultural desde aquí, desde este lugar que es el origen, pues para mí personalmente.
Which to be able to actually have this intercultural dialogue, which for me is very important to reconnect back with Africa.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much for your introducing the team. Please let
Gracias
them
por
know that we are
presentar
very
al
happy.
grupo.
Yes, we are happy to have them here today.
Estamos muy contentos de tenerlos aquí presentes hoy.
Yes, I want you to introduce yourself because now we're just hearing you translate. We just want him to introduce himself, tell us his name as we move on.
Quiere que me presente a mí, soy Douglas Macharia y soy traductor intérprete. Sí. So I'm actually a translator and interpreter, Spanish, English, Spanish interpreter, and I'm also very happy to be here.
You are most welcome. And thank you very much. I'd like to reach out to our audience who can hear Spanish. I hope that you guys are loving this interview at this moment. I can pick 1, 2, 3 things. Masharia here is going to atanichapia your story badai, but I can pick 1, 2, 3 things, but I'm very happy to be here. I want us to get back to the interview to the director, and I just want to know what inspired him to start this group, from the very beginning.
¿Qué es lo que te inspiró desde el principio fundar este grupo?
Bueno, yo creo que la gran inspiración es poder reconocer el vacío histórico que hay entre África y Colombia.
I think the most important thing here is to try and reconnect and to see the vacuum between Africa and Colombia that existed between Africa and Colombia.
Como afrodescendientes colombianos,
as Colombian Afro-descendants,
es muy importante que nosotros miremos el pasado.
It's very important that we look at the past.
Y el pasado nuestro se origina aquí en África.
And our past actually originates from Africa.
Eso nos va a permitir entender quiénes somos.
And that would be able to help us to understand who we are.
Y saber para dónde vamos.
And to know where we want to go.
Y es por eso que nosotros pusimos el nombre Sankofa a nuestra corporación.
And that is why we gave the name Sankofa to our corporation.
Entonces lo que me inspira sobre todo es poder
empoderar
la cultura nuestra en Colombia y en el mundo entero.
So what inspires me is actually to be able to empower our Colombian community and also the entire community in the world.
Wow, amazing. And what activities have they had, since coming here? What activities have happened before?
¿Qué actividades habéis hecho desde el principio?
Sí, nosotros aquí estamos gracias al programa cultural de la Embajada de Colombia en Kenia.
We are actually here thanks to the Colombian cultural project, here in the Embassy of Colombia's cultural project.
Y al plan de promoción de Colombia en el exterior.
And the promotion plan of Colombia in abroad.
Con el respaldo del Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores de Colombia.
With the support and the backing of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Colombia.
Y ellos han hecho una agenda para nosotros muy importante.
And so they've done a program that is very important for us.
Por ejemplo, presentarnos en el Teatro Nacional de Kenia.
For example, presenting us in the Kenya National Theatre.
Con una de nuestras obras.
With one of our works, one of our plays, one of our performances.
Y con un intercambio cultural con el grupo One Mziki.
And also with a fusion or a kind of a joint fusion with another group called One Mziki.
Es una conversación cultural y política.
It's a conversation that is both cultural and political.
Que acerca al continente africano y a Kenia precisamente con Colombia.
Which tries to bridge the gap between the communities in Colombia and Africa, and specifically Kenya.
Wow, amazing. Then that means they are here to, connect Kenya as in Africa and Colombia. And I think there is no more a better conversation on culture than this one that we are having right here. I'd like to hear maybe from 2 of the dancers on why they joined Sankofa Dance Afro.
Yo creo que es muy importante tener esta conversación intentando reducir la brecha entre Colombia y Kenia o Colombia y África. Y quiere que por lo menos 2 personas, dos de los miembros del grupo, digan algo sobre por qué se juntaron a este grupo Sankofa Dance Afro.
Porque llegaron al grupo, Indira.
Porque llegamos al grupo.
Sí.
Bueno, llegamos, sí, me parece importante llegar a este espacio de Sankofa porque nos hace visibles como personas afrodescendientes desde lo que hacemos y lo que somos como afrodescendientes en Colombia. Pero también es ese puente que teje el maestro, ¿cierto?, con las personas de África.
I think this helps us really to connect back to our roots, to be able to actually be able to count with the different supports that we've had in the different communities between Africa and Colombia.
Ha sido muy importante.
Frases pequeñas.
Sí.
Perdón. Ha sido muy importante porque desde nuestras narrativas corporales, pero también desde la palabra,
I think it's been very important because of the different narratives of our bodily narratives.
hemos logrado expresar lo que sentimos,
We
lo
have
que
managed to
vivimos,
express what we feel. Lo que sentís y qué más.
que ahora que estoy acá en el territorio africano, me doy cuenta que las historias son similares.
Now that I'm here in Africa, in the African continent, I feel that actually we have similar stories between us and in Colombia.
Es importante tejer entonces nuestra realidad, nuestras vidas,
I think it's important to forge our lives, our realities,
crear hermandad
to create solidarity, a brotherly solidarity
desde nuestra ancestralidad
from our different ancestries.
y por supuesto para mí es importante también conocer a mis hermanas,
And of course, for me, it's very important to be able to know my other sisters,
crear tejidos
to create that texture,
como
that
comunidad y
fabric,
avanzar
avanzar as a
juntos.
community, and also to be able to progress.
Wow, I think that is an amazing course. Let's start from there.
Es muy interesante, muy
Yes,
fascinante.
yes, they are pursuing because culture as being very diverse is also very similar. They are showcasing that despite culture being diverse, it's also very similar.
Sí, las culturas son muy diversos, pero a la vez muy similares.
Exactly. So we want to go back to director to know what other activities that is lined up for the time that they are here.
Queremos volver al director y preguntarle qué otras actividades quieren llevar a cabo en estos días.
Bueno, también tuvimos una reunión muy importante de alto nivel con el ministro de la Juventud, Deportes y Artes, Ismael.
Yes, we also had a very important high-level meeting with actually the deputy minister of youth, sports and arts or culture in the ministry here in Kenya, called Mr. Ismail Maalim.
Yes.
Y también tuvimos un encuentro con el Centro Cultural Bomas.
And we also had a very important meeting in the cultural center, the Bomas Cultural Center, that most of us know.
En donde también pudimos intercambiar conocimientos que nacen desde la danza.
Where we actually managed also to interchange or to talk about different activities that have to do with dance.
También estaremos aquí en la Universidad Kenyatta intercambiando conocimientos con los bailarines y artistas de este lugar.
Yes, and we also plan to also share the same messages also with the dancers here in Kenyatta University.
E iremos a Kibera a trabajar con la comunidad.
And also we'll go to Kibera later on to work with the communities there.
Hemos tenido una agenda muy cargada y muy importante para nosotros.
We've had a very tight program, very full, but also very important for us. Yes.
Kindly say thank you for making the time, despite the tight project, for making the time to be here on this show.
Sí, dice que muchas gracias por hacer el tiempo, o sea, disponeros aquí para estar aquí para este show.
Exactly, and I also think this is a good opportunity to say thank you to the Bomas of Kenya and to the Kenyan cultural community, for extending that hand to Colombia. I mean, that is a big place to be, and so big up.
Damos gracias también a esos centros culturales de Bomas y de Kenya National Theatre por haber dado esta plataforma.
Sí, es muy importante y no puedo olvidar que va a quedar también un legado audiovisual porque estamos haciendo unos intercambios en video que va a quedar tanto para Colombia como para Kenia.
I think it's also important is mentioning that it's very important for them to leave an audiovisual legacy here because that helps us and helps them to connect, using audiovisual aids.
Para que el diálogo entre la danza y la cultura siga en los dos países.
So that the dialogue, the intercultural dialogue between these two countries continues.
Exactly. And also, I love the fact that they are collaborating with our Kenyan dancers in here, because a message travels better. I believe if this was a boardroom meeting, it would probably have not left much effect. But the fact that they are connecting dance to dance and saying, like their tagline goes, they dance to be heard, not to be seen. That's a very effective way of translating a message or putting up a message and let it be seen.
Están diciendo que realmente esta conexión entre estos dos grupos, o sea, el danza, este grupo de Sankofa, con y también los bailarines de aquí, es muy importante. Esto ayuda mucho a conectarse y a tener, da más, en vez de tener como una reunión sentada aquí en un boardroom, es mejor tener esta conexión entre grupos de bailes que comparten algo similares.
Yes, nice. I'd like us to go to the dancers and just to ask them how they are experiencing Kenya. You know, how has their interaction been with Kenyan dancers? We can probably hear from one or two of them.
And yes, entonces quisiera escuchar de dos o tres dos personas, por ejemplo, del grupo, de lo que ha sido su experiencia hasta ahora aquí con este intercambio, en estos días que han estado aquí en Kenia.
Con los bailarines y con las danzas, ¿cómo se han sentido?
Bueno, yo creo que pues en lo personal para mí ha sido muy importante.
I think for me, in the personal level, it has been very important.
Porque creo que en estos compartires veo que las danzas nos muestran la realidad la cual nosotros hacemos en aquellos territorios las cuales son en Colombia.
And I think these sharings are very, very important because they help us to see the different realities that we share between other dancers.
¿Han encontrado pasos similares?
Sí, se relacionan, por ejemplo, en mi caso, del pueblo del cual vengo en Colombia.
For example, the particular village that I'm from in Colombia,
encuentro muchas danzas, movimientos similares, las cuales me relaciono mucho.
I feel, and I actually have encountered quite similar dance moves between now my community there and what I've seen here.
Yes. Wow, amazing. It's good to know that there are some similarities, you know, between us here and you guys back at Colombia, and we appreciate that.
Es bueno ver que hay esas similitudes y similares y movimientos similares entre nosotros aquí y vosotros en Colombia.
Yes. Also, what other activities, now that we've talked about the activities they have had, apart from the Kibra that they have mentioned, what other activities are running to the 26th?
Entonces, ¿qué otras actividades tendrán aparte de lo que van a hacer en Kibera hasta el 26?
Sí, vamos a hacer estos intercambios que siguen, estos intercambios comunitarios.
So we're going to have these inter-community dialogues, inter-community sharings.
Vamos a seguir con las fusiones que tenemos con los grupos que vamos a encontrar para hacer los videos.
So we're going to do some fusions, some performance fusions with the groups that you're going to meet, so that also we also record them.
Y vamos a tener una función aquí en la universidad, en Kibera.
We're also going to have a fusion in Kibera.
Y esta función va a permitirle a la gente de Kenia conocer nuestras puestas en escena y nuestro trabajo.
And that fusion together will also help the communities there in Kibera to know what they do.
Para nosotros es muy importante invitar a toda la comunidad de Kenia para que vengan y compartan con nosotros y escuchen el diálogo que estamos creando.
For us, it's very important that we invite each and every one of the majority number of people to be able to see what we do.
Yes. Wow, amazing. I'd also like to take this opportunity to appreciate the activities that are happening with the KU dance right here at Kenyatta University. I'm being notified that Dr. Oyugi is the one that is coordinating this Colombia versus Kenya as far as Kenyatta University is concerned. So a big up to you for going beyond borders and, you know, connecting us with people at the workshop at Kenyatta University. Thank you very much. I want us to know, overall, what by the end of this tour, what they hope to have accomplished.
Vale, entonces primero estaba hablando de la conexión que aprecia mucho el hecho de que ustedes están haciendo algo también con Kenyatta University y han hecho eco de que el doctor Oyugi, que está muy conocido aquí, es el que está detrás de esto. Entonces finalmente está haciendo una pregunta a ustedes, ¿qué es lo que quieren lograr al final de estos días aquí? ¿Qué es lo que realmente quieren como lograr?
Bueno, es muy importante Nosotros tenemos 26 años como corporación. Ya llevamos 26 años de estar bailando para que nos escuchen.
We have been in existence for the last 26 years, you know, that we try and with our tagline of trying to dance so that we can be heard more than to be seen.
Yo estuve estudiando en África y soy formado por maestras africanas, Irene Tazambedo y Germaine Acogny.
So I've actually been formed and trained by African people here, two people specifically, Irene and Eileen Sabandeo
y Germaine Acogny.
And Germaine Acogny.
Son las dos grandes maestras de la danza contemporánea en este continente y en el mundo.
They're one of the biggest, most important contemporary dance teachers for Africa.
Y es con esas enseñanzas que yo regresé a Colombia para contarle a Colombia cuál es África y cuáles son los conocimientos que nacen en África.
So after my formation with these two people, very important African artists or musicians, I actually went back to Colombia to actually try and give that story, that line of what I'd learned.
Y en este momento tenemos por primera vez una vicepresidenta negra en Colombia.
And precisely now we actually have a vice minister who's actually black, in Colombia. Something.
Sí, y esta mujer negra colombiana
is actually a president, I understand.
La
is actually the vice president. Is actually the deputy president of Colombia, by the way, a lady who's actually black.
Sí, con el Estado colombiano, ella está creando una agenda muy importante para acercar a África con Colombia.
So she's actually coming up with a program to try and connect the two countries, especially Colombia and the African continent.
Es un programa hasta el 2026.
So it's a program that goes up to 2026.
Entonces nuestras expectativas es poder contribuir desde el arte y la cultura a esta agenda tan importante que conecta el sur con el sur.
So for us, our main objective is actually to connect, or rather to contribute to that art and culture, so that we can, contribute to that particular program.
Y en este caso, que los colombianos en general sepan la importancia que tiene acercarnos al continente africano para reconocernos como afrodescendientes.
So that we as African, especially the Afro-descendants from Colombia, can be able to come back and come closer to the African continent so that we can actually know more about ourselves.
Es por eso que digo que la danza es una danza política, es una danza que acerca pueblos, es una danza que es capaz de sanar las heridas que ha dejado la colonialidad.
And that's why, for me, it's very important that our dance is actually has a political angle, because we actually try to connect the different communities and these different, the Colombian country with the African continent. So it's something political.
Para sanar las heridas que ha dejado la colonialidad.
So that we can cure the different injuries and the different problems that have been there in this particular continent.
Yes. Amazing. Let them know that they're very welcome. Number one, that they are welcome. We as Kenya as Art and Culture Monday, as people who are interested in their culture, we are very open and welcoming to them. By all means, come, let's make those amends, let's learn these dances. And also I think that is a lesson to our Kenyan dancers, that dance is not just for entertainment. It can be to communicate important political messages that can actually, get to the right ears if you're using the right channels like dance.
Entonces les damos la bienvenida, estamos muy honrados de teneros a ustedes por aquí y siempre muy abiertos a que ustedes vengan para comunicar y poder intercambiar estas ideas. Y el hecho de que también no es un mensaje, utilizáis el baile como mensaje para comunicar ideas, para comunicar lo que sois, es un mensaje muy interesante para ellos.
Exactly. We want to move on to future plans. Where are we seeing Sankofa Dance Afro in the next, they have said they have something running up to 2026. So what are we seeing in 5 years, in 10 years? What do they hope to have accomplished?
Entonces, ¿cuáles son sus planes de futuro? Han hablado de un programa nacional de Colombia hasta 2026. ¿Qué es lo que queréis llegar a hacer en 5 años de ahora, por ejemplo?
Bueno, yo creo que
grandes,
sí, nosotros como artistas y como corporación compramos un terreno en Colombia y lo que queremos es crear una escuela que nos permita conectarnos con nuestras raíces y que nos permita también invitar a artistas africanos, recibirlos en Colombia para que compartan lo que saben y también aprendan de lo que nosotros sabemos.
We actually have managed to buy some land there in Colombia, so our Our future plans is mainly to come up with a school, a dance school, where we can actually now share these ideas and be able to do what we really do with the different communities around the world.
Yes.
Y yo creo que a nivel, bueno, quizás no soy la persona para hablar a nivel gubernamental, pero yo creo que es muy importante que los estados del sur se puedan comunicar entre nosotros mismos para buscar soluciones en el mundo actual.
Even though I'm not really qualified to speak like a politician or in the government level, high level plan, I think it's very important that us as artists and creatives also be able to communicate between the southern part, the South-South dialogue. As in the political realm, we talk about the South-South dialogues of how to be able to communicate between these realities that are similar.
Yes. Amazing. I want us to go to the team for a bit and just ask what is their best experience with being with Sankofa Dance Afro, and are they bringing other team members? Like, are there more team members to the dance group?
Yeah. Quiere volver a los miembros del grupo. Quizá algunos pueden hablar un poquito de lo que quizá hay planes, por ejemplo, de incorporar más miembros, por ejemplo, y cuál ha sido la experiencia hasta ahora con el grupo.
Bueno, la experiencia ha sido muy enriquecedora.
It's been a very enriching experience for us.
Ha sido muy emocionante llegar y encontrarnos con manifestaciones culturales que nos conectan.
It's very emotional to encounter these cultural connections that we always find.
Y estamos tan emocionados que pues queremos volver.
Yeah. We are so emotional and very happy that we want to come back again.
Yes.
Como corporación, Sankofa siempre ha estado trabajando con las comunidades afro en Colombia.
Of course, this Sankofa has always been working with the Afro-Colombian descendants.
Y constantemente se están integrando artistas, desde niños hasta adultos.
And constantly we are actually trying to integrate with young artists and even adults. Yeah?
Que llegan a la corporación no para imponerles nuestra danza.
That they come here, we actually invite them to come here not to impose on them,
sino para que ellos nos nutran como corporación y como grupo.
But in change so that they can actually contribute to us and they can give some nutrients to us as a group.
Con los saberes que traen desde sus comunidades.
With the knowledge that they bring from their particular communities.
Yeah.
Bueno, un poco añadiendo a lo que dice mi compañero.
Just to add a bit more from what my companion was saying.
Es también rescatar el trabajo que hace la Corporación Sankofa en los territorios y en la ciudad de Medellín donde estamos.
And also to try and to rescue or to try and recover some of the different aspects that are taking place in different areas in Medellín, one of the cities in Colombia, for example.
Se han realizado muchos procesos formativos.
We have actually carried out many training opportunities, training programs.
Y aquí estamos una representación de 6 personas, pero somos muchos más.
Of course, this is just a representative group. We are 6 of us here, but we have many more out there.
Y por eso también es importante que estemos aquí, porque le abrimos las puertas a esos otros niños, niñas, jóvenes y adolescentes que vienen atrás de nosotros.
And of course we're here so that we can open the doors for them, those many young people, adolescents and young adults who want to, opening the doors for them to also connect with.
O que vienen caminando junto a nosotros y que decimos son los ancestros del futuro.
And they have been working and walking with us because they'll be the ancestors of the future.
Por ejemplo, Vanessa es una de ellas que empezó a los 12 años, 14 años de edad, y ahora ya está bailando a nuestro lado.
See, for example, Vanessa, who's just next there, is one of those who started when she was 12 or 14 years, and now she's still with them.
Peter, que cuente lo de antirracismo.
So Peter,
bueno, pues para mí es muy importante la labor que hace Sankofa como corporación en Colombia.
For me, it's very important that the work that Sankofa does in Colombia.
Yo soy de una ciudad que se llama Cali.
I'm from a city called Cali in Colombia.
Y Sankofa, en alianza con una corporación de mi ciudad.
And Sankofa, together in collaboration with an alliance in my city,
crearon un proyecto en danza llamado antirracismo.
Created a dance project called anti-racism,
que se titula Bailar para ser escuchados,
which is entitled To Dance to Be Heard. Dance to Be Heard.
Porque en mi ciudad la mayor población en algunas zonas somos personas negras.
Because in my city there's a big majority of black population, black people.
Y no sabíamos cómo enfrentar el racismo desde lo cultural.
And we didn't know how to counter racism from the cultural perspective.
Y a través de la alianza que hizo Sankofa,
and through the collaboration that Sankofa did with our community, with our association,
hice parte de la residencia de danza.
I became part of that resistance of dance,
en la cual pudimos aprender temas sobre antirracismo,
where we got to learn topics about anti-racism,
y mostrar un performance de danza,
and also to perform a dance performance
que hablará de nuestras realidades,
that talks about our different realities.
Yes, wow, that is amazing.
Bueno, yo inicié en el semillero Sankofa desde muy pequeña, a los 14 años. Y
I started when I was very young, when I was 14 years old with Sankofa.
Para nosotros, los que hacemos parte del semillero Sankofa, es muy importante y muy significativo estos espacios que brinda.
For us who started when we were very young as like the seed company, I think it's very important for us.
Porque como personas negras que nacemos en la ciudad, no nacemos como con ese conocimiento ancestral que nos brindan desde Sankofa.
Many of us who were born in Colombia with these black communities, we don't have the knowledge about where we came from, about our realities, Afro-descendant reality.
Entonces es un proceso muy significativo, demasiado significativo.
So it's a very, very important process for us.
Que como personas y jóvenes negros nos fortalece mucho en nuestras vidas.
So as young black people, it actually strengthens us, gives us power about our different realities.
Wow, that is great because that shows there is a future for Sankofa.
Muestra que hay un futuro para Sankofa, realmente.
Yes, so not just for now, but many, many years to come. Other 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds will get to join Sankofa. And no, let the name live on.
Sí, entonces no solo para ahora, pero en otros jóvenes que tienen 14 años, en el futuro ya tendrán una vida como la tienes ahora.
Yes, I want the director to big up his team. I know he does not work alone in Sankofa. There are very many other people, photographers, directors, and very many other parts of the team that are very crucial. I just like him to mention them and just say thank you for the role that they play in the team.
Sí, solo decir que quiere que el director hables un poco de más allá de este grupo que está aquí presentes. Hay otros fotógrafos, hay quizá otros directores que están haciendo otras funciones, otros cargos. Quizá puede mencionarles un poco o decirles también, les aprecie también.
Claro que sí, bueno, pero no quiero olvidar que mañana tenemos el taller aquí en la universidad y me gustaría invitarlos.
So I didn't want to, first of all, I wanted also to mention that tomorrow we're going to have an event here in this university, Kenyatta University, tomorrow, and wanted to invite each and every one of you.
Y el miércoles haremos la muestra en Quivera a las 3:30 de la tarde.
And on Wednesday we're going to have also a show at 3 in the afternoon. So you're also invited for that.
Sí. Bueno, aquí en Kenia estamos acompañados por la Embajada de Colombia en Kenia.
So here in Kenya, we actually accompanied by the Embassy of Colombia here in Kenya.
Y estamos con la agregada cultural Catherine.
So we actually with the cultural.
Sergio.
Yeah, we actually with the cultural attaché of the Embassy of Colombia here called Catherine Carmona, and on Sergio, another one of the Embassy of Colombia.
Sí, y este programa se extiende hasta el Congo.
And this program actually goes on up to Congo. Yeah. They'll be traveling to Congo.
Vamos a Brazzaville, donde vamos a recibir a otros 6 artistas de Sankofa.
So they're actually going to Brazzaville, Congo, where they're going to be also meeting other 6 artists from Sankofa.
Para participar también en reuniones de alto nivel.
to participate in other high-level meetings,
y también tener acercamientos creativos con los artistas locales en Brazzaville.
and also to have creative encounters with the different artists in Brazzaville, Congo.
Y por supuesto está todo el respaldo del Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores en Colombia y del Ministerio de Cultura.
And of course, we have the backing and the support of the ministries of Foreign Affairs and of Culture in Colombia, from Colombia.
Entonces nosotros aquí hoy somos 6, pero hay mucha gente que está respaldando esta iniciativa para que se haga realidad y para fortalecer los diálogos entre Colombia y Kenia.
Of course, here we are only 6 of us, but later on, of course, we are backed by a bigger group that also moves in different ambits.
Tenemos una responsabilidad muy grande.
We have a very important responsibility.
Y nos gusta tenerla.
And we are very happy about that.
Yes, amazing. I'd like to let them know that they are we are very happy to have them. 2, the initiative that they have brought couldn't be more important. Is so important to us. It's very core to our culture because I'm looking at any of them and they look very much like me. It's only when I'll start speaking Swahili here and they start speaking and you're like, okay, they are not from Kenya. So that this relationship that they have created is very nice.
Sí, están muy contentos de haberos aquí, muy contentos y están muy agradecidos por la iniciativa que ustedes han tenido y sois muy similares a ella, incluso hubieran pensado que sois también kenianos porque os parecéis igual, solo que cuando ella empieza a hablar Swahili y ustedes no hablan Swahili o no hablan inglés, entonces es lo que le hace un poco, pero sí, sois muy similares.
We are very grateful. I want them to say any final words. They can say hello to someone probably back in Colombia they'd like to say hello to, starting with the dancers, then to the director.
Each of them?
Yes, each of them.
Okay.
Can say something
Entonces
small,
ustedes tendrán la oportunidad de decir quizá una última palabra. Cada uno de vosotros tendrán tiempo para decir algo. Quizá incluso saludo a alguien que esté allí en Colombia.
Al papá, a la mamá.
Eso está bien. The father, the mother.
Bueno, primero que todo, muchas gracias por invitarnos.
Thank you for inviting us.
Muy felices de estar en Kenia.
I'm very happy to be in Kenya.
De compartir con toda la comunidad de Kenia, con todas las personas que nos han recibido de la mejor forma.
To share with all the different people in Kenya and the different people who have received us.
Y más que un saludo, es hacerle la invitación.
More than a greeting is actually to invite you.
A todo el mundo.
All of you.
Colombia, todos los países, a que conozcan de la cultura africana.
To invite everyone, Colombians, so that you can get to know
saberes, y de los saberes, de los grandes saberes que hay en África.
To get to know about Africa and the great knowledge that there exists in Africa.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Agradecida, muchísimas gracias.
Thank you
Me
very
sentí
much.
muy familiarizada también.
I feel very familiarized.
Como que un saludo pues a todos mis compañeros, cierto que saben que me han enviado toda la buena energía, que estoy aquí súper contenta en representación de ellos.
So I'm actually sending my greetings to all the different companions who have sent me positive energy, who have accompanied me in spirit to be here.
Y nada, que no se les olvide que por medio de la danza siempre se puede resistir.
That we're here and we are happy actually to be able to kind of resist the negative things that are not with us.
Bueno, muy feliz de estar en este espacio.
Very happy to be in this space.
Pero mucho más feliz también estando en los espacios donde hemos compartido con la comunidad.
So I know even more happier of the different spaces that you have been able to share, the different areas that you have been, the different communities here.
Agradecida con los que lo hacen posible, pero también con Dios.
So I'm very grateful to those who have made it possible and also to God.
Un saludo fraternal a todos los hermanos y hermanas africanas.
A brotherly embrace, a brotherly greeting to all the different Afro-descended communities in Colombia.
Pero también para la gente de mi Colombia.
And of course with the people of Colombia in general.
Wangari, Semillero Sankofa, todos los que hacen parte de la corporación, las familias, claro que las extrañamos, pero que estamos viviendo momentos maravillosos acá.
So the different groups, Wangari, the Semilleros, which is one of the seed companies there, and also the family, the different members of the family.
Y por último, pues hacerles una invitación muy especial a que asistan a nuestras presentaciones.
And a very special invitation that you attend the different presentations that we're going to be taking place, we'll be doing.
Yes, we will.
Bueno, yo sí quiero mandar un saludo especial a mi pueblo, Tumaco, Nariño.
A special greeting to my village, Tumaco, Marino.
En especial a la escuela Fundación Tuma.
And especially with the school called the Tuma Foundation.
Que aún seguimos haciendo ver nuestras danzas tradicionales.
So where we continue doing traditional dances.
Por el mundo entero.
For the entire world.
A través de Sankofa.
Through Sankofa.
Bueno, yo les quiero agradecer de corazón por esta experiencia maravillosa.
Just to give you a lot of thanks from the heart for this experience.
Y enviarle un saludo a todos los artistas colombianos.
To send a greeting to all the Colombian artists.
Que sigan creyendo en todos los procesos artísticos que se crean desde el territorio.
That they continue believing in the different projects that they create in their territory.
Porque nos permiten conectarnos entre nosotros mismos como nación.
Because it helps us to connect amongst ourselves as a nation.
Y también nos permiten crear diálogos a nivel mundial con otros territorios que han creado procesos también durante muchísimo tiempo.
And also helps us to also connect and to continue creating those intercultural dialogues between the different nations and peoples.
Yes, wow, amazing. We are grateful to have them as well. Let them know from the bottom of our hearts we are very grateful to have this conversation, and we can get to the director and final remarks.
Sí, están muy agradecidos también por todos ustedes y ahora quiere invitar al director a que haga las últimas palabras.
Bueno, pues yo quiero agradecerle al Estado colombiano por reconocer y por creer que la labor que nosotros hacemos desde la danza aporta al desarrollo de la nación.
So I'd want to give special thanks to the state of Colombia for the support that they've given us and in what we do to continue supporting us in the different activities that we carry out.
Y definitivamente a todo el pueblo colombiano, en especial a las comunidades negras.
And of course to the entire people of Colombia, especially the Afro-descendant populations in Colombia.
Porque siempre hemos creído que la cultura no está separada de las luchas de resistencia.
Because we have always believed that culture is not separate to the different battles and the struggles that we have.
Y la danza y la música siempre han estado ahí para soportarnos.
And dance and music has always been present to support us.
Y construir puentes de interculturalidad.
To create bridges, intercultural bridges.
Con otras culturas en Colombia y en el mundo.
With other cultures in Colombia and also other areas in the world.
Y gracias a ustedes por recibirnos y ayudarnos a amplificar nuestra voz.
And thank you very much for actually helping us to amplify the work and our voices.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a great honor, a great pleasure. Jasmine Nagol, anasema great people from Colombia. That is from our comment section.
Hay sección de comentarios que está leyendo algunos de estos comentarios.
Yes.
Buena gente de Colombia.
And Tracy Wahu is saying wouldn't mind attending their shows. So we already got audience.
Tracy ya dice que le gustaría asistir a los eventos que tenéis programados.
Yes, so that is just from the audience that is watching us, and we are happy to have you. I'd also like to remind you of the event by Sankofa Dance Afro that is taking place on the April 22nd, okay? That is this Saturday from 3 p.m. At the Bomas of Kenya. Don't miss it. If you can make some time, go there. You're going to have a fantastic time.
Sí, está invitando a la audiencia. Primero ha hablado con algunos de los comentarios, hablando de que quisieran asistir a sus actos y les están invitando a la audiencia a que asisten al acto el 22, el sábado 22 en Bomas. No, en Kibera. Vale. Yeah, it's actually in Kibera.
Yes, in Kibera.
3:30 in Kibera on
yes.
Wednesday.
Okay, so on Wednesday it's at Kibera, and tomorrow is right here at Kenyatta University. All right, so be here, be present. If you can come, you're going to experience amazing talent. And we want to close because we are out of time, but boy, have we had an amazing show. Thank you for translating for us. I have not heard Art and Culture Monday translated to Spanish. So, you know, it's been, this is one of a kind. Yes, but we are out of time, so I'll see you guys next Monday, same time, same amazing show, and we are going to be having a great time. Thank you very much, Sankofa. We have had an amazing time. Thank you very much. And thank you for participating, for keeping it KUTV Kenya, and for comments and contribution. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next Monday. We are done.